When I did a video tour of my dad's shop attic, I showed this thing, which is a forklift toy powered by wiper motors. And I built that back in 1985, and a whole lot of people wanted to see this thing run again. There's a wiper motor powering each of these two wheels independently. These originally were round wheels, but I experimented with sprockets for a chain drive. And then there's a caster on the back here, although the rubber on that thing has cracked. And the main lifting mechanism is two window lifters that came out of a car from the 1970s. And these are coupled together with this shaft here, which is powered with a shredded old belt and a wiper motor to make that turn, although something is seized here because I can't really turn these things up and down. And then the tilt for the fork used to be accomplished with a string that was wrapped around a dowel attached to this motor here. Whoops. So this one kind of seized. It's too hard to turn. Well, this one is good. Ah, much better. All it needed was some oil. This caster is at least 35 years old, and the rubber on it is just kind of, well, disintegrated. And I wonder if these wiper motors will still run okay. Let's apply some juice. No go. Maybe I need more juice. Nope. Let's try the other one. Okay, that one still works. Oh yeah, this thing won't turn. I need to clamp to that shaft without scratching it, so I made some blocks out of hardwood for that. That bearing grease has totally turned into gunk. No wonder it's seized. This here is kind of interesting. There's actually 3 brushes on here. And this is before they made these things electronic. So just by having another brush in a different position, they were able to control the speed. I tied the brushes back with some copper wire because that's the only way I can get the rotor back in here. Okay, now let's take the ties out. Which way? Oh, there's a screw hole here and there's a screw hole there, so that's probably how it goes. And with any luck, this thing is not jammed up, but I won't know until I apply power. Excellent, it still works. Oh, yeah, looking good. I'll just add a little bit of fresh oil in there. Add that to the 40-year-old grease in it. So I sanded these parts and I even put a coat of varnish on them to make them look nice. And next thing I'll focus on is the drivetrain. With the old caster wrecked, I thought I'd try the tracks again. And when I originally tried them, I had the tracks this long because I wanted the rear axle to be out of the way of my lifting device. But with the tracks this long, it turns out it was just about impossible to turn this thing, especially on grass. So I'm thinking now I should make it really short, sort of like a bobcat skid steer, maybe this long. But that means my axle will be right here, but I could just cut a notch out of this lifting mechanism. I was going to reuse the old sprockets, but then I noticed this is really kind of warped and it's cracked where it's glued together here. And then just checking it, if I measure it to the tip of the tooth here and then I measure it here, you can see it's shrunk quite a lot in this direction. So this wood was not fully dry when I made these, so I'll just make some new ones out of plywood. I just measured my chain, and the distances that I need is between these two pins, and the thickness of these blocks. Now I'll punch those into my gear generator and then make myself some new gear templates. Looks kind of like the old one. Instead of the dowel I tried before, this time I'll use a 3/8 inch steel rod. So this is where I need to cut away. So this is how long the chain needs to be. Here's my shortened chains on the new sprockets and the new shaft in here. And to hold that in place, I've got these two brackets. And that allows that axle to move back and forth like that a little bit. And I figure I'll hook a spring on here to keep those chains under tension. I'm just twisting these connection wires together for now because who knows, I may have to open this thing up again to take the wiper motors out. These wires here are for the motors that go on top, and I'll install those later. Now once this thing is fully back together, I will have 5 motors on it, 2 for drive, 2 for the fork, and I'll need 4 conductors plus ground, so I'll string together 2 lamp cords plus another conductor for ground. And to keep those wires together, I'm just going to braid them. Now this thing is likely to run over its own wires, so I added this mast to keep at least a little bit out of the way of the drive tracks. Got it hooked up to a wire going to the ceiling and then to here, and this is my little controller, and I have it hooked up to a split power supply. That way one side of the motor is always on ground and I just have to connect the other side to here or to here to reverse it. And these wires here just make simple switches. So it works on a smooth floor. Let's see how it works on grass. Well, it works on the grass, but I think this video is long enough already, so I'll make the forklift part of it work again in the next video.